Destiny's Bounty has gone through many a change over the years, from the original to the final flight to a land bounty and even a submarine bounty. Now in 2025 it's back again, and at 2,387 pieces this is officially the biggest of the bunch. But is it the best? Inside are 17 paper bags, a small envelope for the sales, a sticker sheet and a mega instruction manual to get this thing built up, which through the magic of editing we can get done in no time. The finished product is, as expected, a behemoth. The whole thing sits on this little stand holding it at an angle so you can display the ship in a flying position, which is a very cool added bonus. It's also pretty clear that this set takes a lot of inspiration from 2017's movie bounty, which was the previous record holder in terms of piece count. These two ships are very similar in size, with the new one being slightly taller and longer but also a bit narrower. They also both feature 3 large sails, a stark contrast to the smaller bounties which have a single mast with sails that can open up into flight mode. The sails themselves are beautifully designed. They're made of a soft fabric and decorated with small writing reading Temple Bounty as it flows over what I assume is dragon scale patterns, while the larger letters read Temple at the front and Bounty to the back, with the dragon's rising ninja symbol sitting front and centre of the large sail tying it all together. Then, hanging off the mast and draped over the front building is this red dragon. This is honestly a pretty interesting and unique way of integrating the iconic dragon head into this bounty. I do like the way it kind of just sits there floating over the deck. My only real issue is that the bow of the ship just sticks out a tad further than the dragon head, which does look a bit odd. If the front of the boat was maybe just a little bit shorter or the dragon head just a bit further out, I think it probably would have looked a bit better. Still, it uses that new dragon head mold used for Rontu and the Guardian Dragon, with golden horns just like those movie bounty heads. You can stand a couple of minifigures on the deck up here, but there's not a whole lot of space in this area. While the dragon head might look a bit awkward sitting so far back, I do think the bow itself has a beautiful appearance. I love the gold ingots lining the tops of the 2 walls with dark red blocks built into them, as well as these decorative prints hanging on each side, which have the initials TB for Temple Bounty. There's a few more of those scattered further down the ship as well. The branding continues with the name this time in Latin letters, along with some of those new energy pieces in a light blue colour, kind of giving the illusion of clouds passing the ship by as it flies through the sky, which I'm really quite a fan of how that's turned out. The anchors for this one are very small, hanging from chains on either side, which enter the ship through little gaps in the hull. There's no actual mechanism to bring them in, which, because of the building up on top and the interior space that we'll look at later, is honestly a fair sacrifice, so I'm not too bothered about that. The hull carries on the red and black temple colour scheme, with a sticker in the middle here adding another of those dragon symbols to the ship, while up on top the main deck has plenty of space for minifigures, complete with a crate of what I hope is fresh fish, another crate with a pretzel, a lantern sat on a table, with steps up to that front building with some blue flames adding a nice ambience by the doorway. This is simply a small lookout area with a removable roof to let you get easier access in here. It just holds a sextant for navigation and has an open window so someone can be in here just kind of keeping an eye on what's ahead of the ship. There aren't many studs to actually stick minifigures to with this one compared to 2017's because of the large door pieces it used, but what that does mean is that the whole deck can open up like so to give a sneak peek at the interior. More on that later. And then there are also some steps up to the cabin at the back, which I think has come together excellently. This really makes the whole set work, with those sloping black roofs, each featuring blue lanterns hanging from the corners, plus golden window panes within the brown and tan walls. It really helps the whole thing feel quite regal and also gives it a very nice appearance from behind as well, complete with this little dragon artwork. We've got the ship's wheel right at the top here for someone to steer, and the roof is removable, helping to get better access to the telescope looking out to sea. Plus, trapdoor that can swing down forming a ladder. Removing this section then gets better access into the main control center with another telescope on the window ledge next to a letter and a quill, plus a gold trophy on what I'm assuming is a box of tea up on shelves here. Sat in the middle is a big table that you can use the reveal sword on, showing what looks like a pumpkin face weirdly enough, and the whole thing also lifts up revealing some computer screens. There's also a spot on either side with these decorated railings which sit right on top of the iconic Destiny's Bounty transformation feature. As is tradition for these ships, they've got right hat pieces for decoration, and the transformation is activated by this black gear at the back, which thankfully blends in nicely with the rest of the ship. Twisting it around slowly opens up the wings. It's a fun new take on the transformation into flight mode, and I love the little fabric pieces that are used here. They're the same soft material as the sails, and so because of that, they don't really get creased up, which makes them perfect for this little transformation. To access the main interior space below, there are 3 sections of the deck that lift off. First, we can remove the front building section to reveal a small dojo area for ninja training. We've got a dummy in the middle with shurikens and a painting of the 4 weapons blacksmith shop on this side, possibly a hint at an anniversary set we might get next year, while the other side has a sword and a painting of the monastery's mountain. There are also 2 katanas stored in the front here as well. It's not the easiest space to access, with that long beam covering up the middle, but I do appreciate that the interior space does extend to cover the entire hull. There's also a doorway into the next room, which we can access by removing the middle portion of the deck. This is the main living quarters for the ninja, featuring a sushi bar as the major attraction. There's a table down here with some sushi and a teapot that 2 minifigures can sit down by, with some more sushi on the bar, plus even more still being prepared as well. Behind the bar there's a cleaver and frying pan hanging down, as well as a game controller, a Gallimorph X-Post game, some drinks, plus a plank covering up a picture of Ryu and Arin. On the other side there's a green roller skate piece by a picture of Zane and Pixel, so I wonder what that's all about, plus some goblets in the middle, and then another potted plant by a picture of Master Chen noodles. Even with the bar in here, it's actually quite a nice and spacious place with room for a lot of minifigures to kind of stand around. Then through another doorway, and accessed easier by removing the cabin, we get to the bedroom / engine room of the bounty. This area features 2 hammocks for Ninja to lie down on, plus Kai's climber mech and a waffle on a plate on this side, while the other side has a red lampshade and a clock that reads 11 minutes past 8. A clever reference to the year Ninjago began. There's a decent amount of room down here for characters to stand around and check on the engines, with the gear function that activates the wings being fully on show down here. So you can see just how that works using some Technic gears inside this big clear box piece. It doesn't feel quite as homely as the bedroom for Master Wu in the movie Bounty, but it's at least something. There are some big gaps in the walls where these wings come out of though. Still, all things considered, the Temple Bounty is an absolutely magnificent Ninjago ship. With so much on offer for minifigures to do here, it's unfortunate that we only get 6, 3 of which are reused from earlier set waves. For villains, we've got Zarkt, who also shows up in the Arc Dragon and Rontu, but this time has a bigger spike in his chain weapon. As for Ninja, Wyldfyre and Rogue also make another appearance here, Rogue this time getting gold hilts for his lightning weapons, while Wyldfyre just gets some katanas. Cole, Nia and Zane meanwhile all show up in their brand new Ghost Hunter suits, the latter 2 being exclusive to this set. Cole gets the reveal blade, and they all have the new Dragon Mask piece, which, as I've said before, looks great from the front, but a little bit awkward from the side. Zane's also thankfully doesn't suffer from the poorly placed injection mark thanks to it being white, so that's a nice bonus for him. They all have similar robe designs with red knee pads and belts, plus lots of brown straps over the torsos, front and back. Cole of course gets orange detail lining the edges of his robes, while Nia gets blue and is back to a predominantly gunmetal grey outfit, which feels like a nice callback to her Hands of Time suit thanks to the red details. While this suit also shows up in a 4+ set, this is the only way to get her mask piece to complete the look. Zane meanwhile, easily my favourite of the bunch. The dark red contrasts the blue really well I think, and like many Zane suits nowadays, he even shows off a bit of his titanium body below. It's honestly a shame that he doesn't show up in some cheaper sets. Compared to other bounty sets, as far as minifigures goes, yeah, this is definitely lacking. 2017, 2020 and 2021's Hydra Bounty all included a full set of ninja suits, and 2015 was absolutely packed with heroes and villains, so I definitely think this should have at least included Lloyd, Kai and Sora, even if that meant losing Rogue and Wyldfyre. At the end of the day, this is a $200 set, so getting all 6 of the new Ghost Hunter suits here would have been a nice little treat, rather than needing to buy this set and multiple other sets just to get the full team. So while it may be a bit lacking in minifigures, the Temple Bounty on the whole is an absolutely brilliant reimagining of 2017's movie Bounty, with enough differences to give it its own distinct and equally beautiful appearance. As a final rating, I'd say a solid 8.5 out of 10. Is it the best Destiny's Bounty? Well, I think the crown still rests firmly on the 2017 set. But this is absolutely a worthy addition to the roster, and a ship that I'm sure is going to stand out from the rest and be fondly remembered for many years to come. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already. That's all for today, so check out this video on screen now to see some more Summer 2025 Ninjago sets.